Hi there, gorgeous. Hope you're having a fabulous day. If you are new to the channel, welcome to you. I make videos like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so if you'd like to be notified of new videos in the future, please subscribe. And thank you so much in advance if you do. Today I'm showing you an authentic Marilyn Monroe tutorial based on tips and facts that I was able to research about how her signature makeup look was created. And I've also thrown in some rather fascinating facts about her life and career that will be sprinkled throughout the video. Marilyn's makeup artist was Allan Whitey Snyder, and he was the one that she relied on the most for creating not only her signature look, but a majority of her makeup looks, despite having many makeup artists throughout her career. And interestingly enough, when she would go out in public, a lot of times she didn't wear makeup at all. She actually preferred to be barefaced. So this glamorized image that we have of her wasn't the image that she had of herself, and she was rather humble in that respect. I found a lot of fascinating facts about her. I also stumbled across this website that talked about her entire makeup collection that got auctioned off after her death, which is where a lot of the product inspirations that I'm using in today's video came from. So if you'd like to read more on it, it was such a plethora of information that I couldn't include every single fact from that website in this video. I'll have it linked for you below because it is a fascinating read from top to bottom, especially if you love everything Marilyn. So if that describes you, or you're just looking for a look like this, I hope that you'll find this enjoyable. For the eyes in this look, I'm using Tarte's Tartlet palette, beginning with a shade that matches my skin tone, and this is Super Mom from the palette. I'm applying this all over the eyes. Well, for the lid anyway. Her eyeshadow was extremely subtle, so there are only 2 shades being used. And the next shade I'm using from this palette is Force of Nature, which is a medium matte brown, and I'm using that to contour the socket line of the eyes. For the placement of this shade, you want to focus it on the outer half of the crease and try not to bring it into the inner corner. Taking a shimmery white eyeshadow, this is from Rimmel's Spice palette, and I'm applying it to the middle of the lid. I'm also applying this shade underneath the high arch of the brow. And above the brow bone on the inner corner, and this adds very subtle highlights around the eyes. Marilyn's makeup artist would also take a red pencil and apply a small dot to the inner corners of her eyes, and this helped to make the whites of the eyes appear whiter. Taking a brown eyeliner from Rimmel, I'm lining the upper lash line. Then I'm going back with a matte brown eyeshadow, and I'm using that to set the pencil so it doesn't move around the eyes. Also adding a subtle wing to the outer corners with the same eyeshadow. One of the other really unique tricks that Marilyn's makeup artist used was he created a shadow on her lower lashes with that same brown eyeliner to make it look like the lashes were so big they were casting a shadow on the outer corner of her eyes, and this really emphasizes that eye shape that she had even more. And this shape was winged out and pointed down to create that illusion. A white eyeliner was also used on her lower waterline. This helps to open the eyes and make them appear larger. That same white eyeliner was used to fill in the area between the upper wing and the lower wing on the outer corner of the eye, and I'm going back with a brush to soften the edges and blend it a bit more. A thin line of gold eyeliner was also added to the outer half of the upper lash line to make the look more glamorous. Again, small amount here, not a lot being used, and the one that I'm using here is from e.l.f. Marilyn's eyebrows were generally filled in with a pencil, and they were feathered in softly so that they appeared the most natural. And the high point of the arch was heavily emphasized with a pointed tip. The reasoning behind Marilyn's triangular shaped brows was to help to visually reduce the appearance of her forehead. And the ends of them did extend out further than we do traditionally today, so I am elongating them past the point where I normally would. Marilyn did not use individual lashes, she used strip lashes almost exclusively, so I chose this pair from my lash line in the style Blessed. And these are the perfect Marilyn lash because they're shorter on the inner corners and they taper out into longer length on the outer corner of the eye, which further exemplifies the shape that we've created with the makeup already. For the face, I'm applying e.l.f.'s Jelly Pop Dew Primer. When Marilyn did her makeup, she would apply a layer of Vaseline underneath, and this gave her skin a luminous glow. But if you're looking for something a little bit more modern and less messy, then the e.l.f. primer is a great way to go. For my foundation, I'm using Laura Mercier's Tinted Moisturizer, which is a very light, dewy type of foundation, and that was what Marilyn used. If you research the makeup that was found after her death, there were a lot of luminous, dewy type foundations. She wasn't really into that matte look. I'm applying a concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Vanilla. And I'm lightly going in and setting the face with a powder, and Marilyn did set her face with a powder that was found in her collection also, but again, it probably wasn't a heavy duty powder, it probably wasn't something that was too mattifying. Going back and adding more of that white shimmery highlight to the inner corners of the eyes. And the top point of my brows, the arch, was not pointed enough, so I went back and added a lot more emphasis there. Her face was contoured, specifically from the temples down through the cheeks and onto the jawline. So I'm doing that here with the No. 7 bronzer in the shade Golden Sand. Surprisingly, she was very self-conscious about her nose. Even though she had a rhinoplasty surgery to make her nose smaller early in her career, she still would apply a lot of contour down the sides of the nose and on the tip. Adding a small amount of highlight from the Charlotte Tilbury palette to the center of the forehead, down the nose, onto the chin, and also underneath the eyes and up along the upper cheekbone. A lot of luminosity with Marilyn's look. You definitely don't want flat skin here, so don't be afraid to use the highlighter and the dewy primer to help achieve that glow. It's also said that her makeup artist would apply a small amount of a pink blush onto the very tip of her nose. So I'm doing that here, and I'm also taking this same blush and applying it lightly on the tops of the cheeks. Despite Marilyn's lips looking like they were one straight red shade, she actually used several different reds to achieve her iconic red look. One of the things that was done was a dark red lip liner was first applied, so I'm using Revlon's Wine Lip Liner here to mimic that. And then a dark red lipstick would be applied to the outer corners of the lips, and here I'm using Maybelline's Ruby Red. A lighter red lipstick would be applied to the center of the lips. For that, I'm using MAC's Dangerous, which is an orange-based red. Then I'm going back with more of that white shimmery eyeshadow I used on the eyes in the beginning of this look and applying that to the center of the lips. Marilyn's makeup artist would use a white cream of some kind to achieve this look, but a white shimmer eyeshadow gives you the same effect. If you want an exact match to Marilyn's red lips, the company Besame Cosmetics makes one in the shade Red Hot Red, which is an almost exact dupe to the lipsticks that she would wear. But she was also rumored to wear several different shades from Revlon, including Certainly Red, Hot Coral, and Kiss Me Coral, all of which are still available today. And no Marilyn look would be complete without her signature beauty mark. Now I realized I didn't mention all the products that I was using throughout the video, so if you're interested in any specific product that was used, I'll have every single one of them listed and linked for you below in the description box. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I want to wish you a beautifully blessed day ahead. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.